Day 22 of training to be a professional archer. Wednesday night tradition at Georgetown, Texas's own Double G Archery. I love this place. I like the people, and I know my primary goal is to shoot 3D archery, but Target Archery League is available year-round, so I get a lot of reps this way. There's cool people here shooting cool bows, and this guy recognized me from TikTok, so that was good for the old ego. I was shooting pretty lights out to start with. I was perfect through the first 4 ends, and then I shot just barely a 4 at the end of the 5th end, but man, I was drilling X's like this all night. I was carrying 299 into the final 2 ends all the way up to the 11th, but I blew it. Still ended up with 296, which is a PR, so pretty stoked. Day 23 of training to be a professional archer. No time to get to the range, no time to get outside and shoot, no time to lift or do any sort of athletic training at all today. Had to work with the shot trainer, which I built out of a piece of PVC pipe and an old bowstring. But it's great because this is the stuff I need work on, the small details in the bow hand and my release. I've noticed that I tend to react a lot to my release, to the shot going off. And that's something I don't see in more experienced archers. That could just be experience, but I think some of it is also the choice of release, and I might need to upgrade at some point. But bonus footage, here's my girl Blueberry, looking gorgeous. And there's Blueberry's food, looking delicious. Day 24 of training to be a professional archer. I don't really get bored with archery. As you can see, I'm pretty obsessed. But I do need a break from the monotony of compound training once in a while, and the traditional bow is fantastic for that. I like to break out the recurve just because, I don't know, it feels a little more like play. It's a little more reactive, a little bit more instinctive. I don't truly shoot instinctive, but it still feels that way. It feels a little bit more like throwing a ball. And thus it leads to me attempting silly stuff like this, shooting my whitetail target in the ear. I don't recommend you do this with a real whitetail, unless I guess you have the whitetail's consent, or you work at a Claire's boutique and a whitetail walks in requesting this particular procedure. Day 25 of training to be a professional archer.
And the days they go by until we get home. There's water in the flowers, let's grow. People, they lie, but hey, so.
Day 26 of training to be a professional archer. Over all the years of doing all the different sports I've done, I've realized there are some pretty close to one-size-fits-all movements. But as I get further and further into a sport, the experience I've had in the weight room teaches me that I can kind of treat it like a laboratory, and I can experiment a little bit and find things that are going to more directly benefit the sport that I'm currently training for. And that's what today was about. It was a lot about experimenting with isometrics and trunk stability. I really wanted to, well, I also have to do curls because every time you work out, you have to do curls. But I wanted to find ways to challenge trunk stability, but still have stable, steady strength in certain positions that are going to be important for the sport. Later in the day, I got out on the home range. I got a lot of work in at 40 yards today. A lot of my focus right now is on my shot process, specifically my breathing, and how I'm pairing that with settling my pin and bringing the target into focus. 40 yards is great because it really does make me slow down. Day 27 of training to be a professional archer. It was squat day again. Went with front squats because I had a feeling I had a deficiency in how stable I was being, and I talked a little about trunk stability in my last video, and sure thing, when you look at these, you can see that I have a lot of forward pitch, a lot of lack of stability in when I push up from the ground during these sets. This top set, it's really, really apparent. So it shows me I've got to get back to where I was strength-wise and the ability to be stable in positions, but that's why you do the work, right? No shooting today, but I did continue my laboratory experiments in the gym, figuring out movements and things that I can do that kind of challenge all the dimensions of stability, balance, strength and position, etc. that I've been talking about. And then I just had to fix up some arrows. These are my backup arrows, and they'd lost some fletching. So pretty ugly fletching job overall I did on these. But the Bitzenberger does its job well. All I got to do is stick glue on there. And then I pulled out my broadheads because hunting season's coming up and I wanted to take a look. They do need some TLC and some sharpening for sure. Day 28 of training to be a professional archer. Opening day of dove season today, a little bit of success. Tilly, not so much success on the retrieving, needs some work there. Did some more work on the lease while we were out there, concealed the stand a little bit better. Wasn't feeling too hot at this point, so went back home and took a COVID test, and hey, it's positive.